Welcome back to race two of Lobby 2 of the Ultimate Racing League Rivals Championship on a Tuesday night. Coming to you on a Wednesday after everything's died down. We can have a look back and watch the races and bring you some commentary. So this is Lobby 2, and I've just finished doing race 1 for this lobby, and now we're on to race 2. The grid will stay the same as it did in Lobby 1. But the guys have jumped into their other cars, which for the guys in race 1 that were in the EVO, they'll now be in the WRX, and the same with the other guys. If they were in the WRX, they'll now be in the EVO. And obviously, that means they will have different liveries that we haven't seen yet. So this is the final livery run through before I skip this part in future races. So up front, we've got Cast sporting a Jacob Cohen livery. Not sure I've seen anything like that before. So obviously something that means something to Cast, but not familiar with myself. So hopefully you might be able to educate me in the comments or in our little chat, and I can update if needed in future races. Second, we've got Gramad Ali in the Pepsi livery, cool looking livery, similar colour scheme to Cast, so it's going to be difficult to separate the two, but that big Pepsi logo should go some way to helping me out there. In third, we got Saint now in the Evo with his the Saint sticker on the back window and his little dancing stick man with the halo on the bonnet there. I'm not sure what that's all about, so hopefully you can enlighten me, and then we can bring that information to you for the next week's races. Fourth, we got Ninki there in a reversal of the Tokyo Drift livery that we saw sported on his Evo. And as you can see there, remember the Buster sticker. I can't see what it says underneath, but obviously Buster being the character Brian O'Connor, played by Paul Walker in the franchise. Vin Diesel's character Toretto referred to him as Buster. So there we go, and hashtag for Paul there on the bumper. So obviously we've got a bit of a Fast and Furious fan there, like myself, to be fair. So nice to see. Good livery there. Nordy in fifth there, WRX Subaru Motorsport livery. Looking good. Some good colour contrast there, so good to see. And then Taff there with a very straightforward and sleek livery for the WRX. And in seventh, we've got Carlsberg with Wild Bridgestone Rally Art Potenza, Bridgestone Potenza livery, looking good. Some good contrast there, colours, some good shine there off the what could possibly be chrome or iridescent paintwork. So looking good. Then we've got G Smith sporting the Rally Art livery. Another famous livery there, so looking good. And then we've got Wobbles in ninth in a straightforward red, along with Short Arse at the back, also in the straightforward red livery. So without further ado, let's get this race up and running and on the way, and see exactly how this pans out now they're in different cars. There we go, and as they come down the main straight, start the race, lights are about to go out. Away we go. Everybody moving across into single file as we come down, trying to sort of get a bit of toe if they can and keep them all in line going down into the turn one. Looks like everybody getting through unscathed, which is good. Possibly some going wide there, but it looks like whoever it was is back on track. So everybody going through sets of one there, the tight right left-handers, really important for flow, as I said in race one. Really want to get that quick change of direction, as we got a little battle raging there as Taff is trying to get past Nordy. Taff racing the Team 2 in the Evo, and Nordy racing the Team 1 in the WRX there. So a little bit of a battle. It looks like, where's Taff gone now? Oh, Taff is in the WRX as well. Sorry, my bad. I got caught up with Eva as Taff sticks it down the inside of Nordy. That was a bit naughty, wasn't it? See, I told you these J's would come out. How myself. Nordy there trying to hold on sit now from the Evo of Carlsberg, but Carlsberg, as we saw in race one, absolutely rapid. rapid on this track. So he's right on the back of Nordy there, and as we come around that super left hander, they both go a little bit deep there, but they tuck it back in, and off they go on the straight. But Carlsberg right on the bumper, so he's dived to the inside. He's going to try and he's tucked out the slipstream there. He's going to try and hold that inside line as they're pushing and shoving a little bit there, trying to get that little edge. As looks like Carlsberg gets the turn in, and yep, he makes the place stick. Nordy come back in the chicane. He's looking at it. Is he going to look? No, he's backed off, and he's going to, I think, focus a bit more on getting a good exit. Oh, but Nordy loses it. That's a bit of oversteer on the exit. Again, that chicane catching him out. There's another shame really there, because he has been putting in some really stellar lap times, considering he's new to this, and it's really good to see. But when you push, you do open the door to making some mistakes, and the Supra and perhaps the WRX is particularly violent on the tail if you get a bit too keen, a bit too eager on the throttle on the exit of some of these corners, so he's been caught out there. Let's get back and see what's happening at the top of the grid. So I'm Castian there, out in front, hoping to try and improve on where he finished in race 1. But ultimately, Cast and Ramad Ali are still holding first and second, as they did in race 1. As it looks like I think it was Ninky just going wide there, and we've lost G Smith. Bad rate of oversteer again. Let's just have a little look, see what happened there. Looks like he got out of shape on the first car of the first right hander. Yeah, he's gone wide on the first right hander, which got him on the grass, and then a load of oversteer coming on, and he's not been able to save it. So spun him round, and he's obviously had to wait there for the guys to go past us so he could safely rejoin. Oh, it's G Smith, good job. We had Ghost in there as G Smith goes wide, and well, I wonder what it had been. Not G Smith, who was that that went through? Short hours that was, I believe, it went through. I wonder what it would be. Robbers. Let's go back, let's get this. Sorry. So we got G Smith losing it in the rally R, and then let's see, so we got Shorthouse comes round, yeah, so his Wobbles has come round, and he's gone wide, completely unsighted, and well, we would have gone straight through G Smith there had Ghost and not been on. So I think G Smith and Wobbles can carry their lucky stars there. As we go back up to see cast out in front. We're on to lap 2. The two WRXs look to be stretching their legs, creating a bit of a gap, pulling away a little bit. The Saint holding his own in the third. Really strong performance so far again from the Saint. Really come on leaps and bounds in recent weeks in the various leagues he's been racing in. He's new to the Ultimate Racing League, new to these races. He's got himself involved in the Sunday night championship, I believe, as well. So yeah, he's really thrown himself into this, and you can see he's putting the time in because his performance is getting stronger and stronger. Just go back and see what's going on here. We've got a little bit of a battle with Taff trying to get past Carlsberg there. Taff all over the back of Carlsberg. Wants to try and get in front of Carlsberg, so Carlsberg hasn't got a run on Linky. Obviously Linky and Carlsberg battling it out in race 1, and obviously Linky made that mistake to allow Carlsberg to get free, but it doesn't look like it's going to go that way at the moment, because Carlsberg is pushing Linky, but Linky holding his own again. So we'll see how this one pans out. God, Taff, it looks like a little bit of lag there, to be honest, with Taff, but he's really, whatever he's doing, he's pushing that car to the limit. As Carlsberg dropped behind Taff there. So what happened to Carlsberg? Oh, Carlsberg went wide on the sweeping left on the exit of sector 1. So Carlsberg dropped back. He's got a lot of work to do now to start pushing on. Carlsberg right at home in the WRX in race 1 as Linky goes wide as well onto the gravel. So as I was saying, Carlsberg right at home in the WRX in race 1, but struggling to tame the the EVO in race 2, as is Taff, who appears to have, we missed that, but Taff appears to have gone off on the hairpin, so he's down to the inside there, and he's caught a load of grass on the inside, trying to make that move, and see a little photographer there in the barrier trying to capture that photograph. So if only we got to see what photographers capture in these races, what we could, but we don't, unfortunately. So Carlsberg, it looks like he's got his head down after losing a little bit of time there, and he's gone wide. Oh, the commentator was cursed again. Not great considering I've not even watched these races back before this, and I keep timing it like that. So Carlsberg getting a load of oversteers. He went wide on the left-hander there and onto the back straight with Taff now back up going with the company, and Carlsberg has dropped right back up off of Minky up in fourth, and he's got all that work to do to try and build that pace back up and bridge that gap again. So, but he needs to shake off Taff before he can do that. And it doesn't look like that's going to be an easy task. Nordy looks like he's got his head down. He's got a big old gap up to Taff in the sixth, but he's going to be working his way round to try and make amends for his errors. Really strong performances though, minus the mistakes from Nordy. It's great to see newbies come in and straight away start mixing with the big guys. And but this is a little bit of a turn up here. Short arse in 8th. If you remember in race 1, he was down in the 2 minute 10s, 2 minutes 11. And as you can see in the EVO, he's absolutely motoring. He's really got the grip. Maybe the EVO suits him a bit better, but 3 seconds a lap faster than he was in the WRX, despite the WRX being a faster car. So maybe that is literally just down to him getting more and more comfortable with the car as he starts to settle in. But either way, great performance so far in this race from Short Arse there to get his lap times down. Wobbles there. He's obviously had those issues on lap 2, but bringing that lap time down to try and keep himself in the mix. G Smith putting up after his horrendous lap 2. Putting up, after this commentator's curses, I need to start making comments. The Short Arse has lost it there. Just after I was talking him up, he's gone around the hairpin. He's got a bit keen on the throttle, giving himself a load of oversteer, and he's done well not to collect the other 2, but he's saved it, so he can get his head back down and he can bridge that gap again as G Smith and Wobbles go on up the road. It looks like there's been a change in lead as well. Gromad Ali's gone past 201.8 there for his last lap, so he's obviously found a way past Cast and into the lead whilst we've been watching the back markers, so apologies for missing that. Gromad and Cast, but they're keeping up flying the flag for Team 1 in the WRX there. First and second, and the same again, stellar performance, so keeping all the third place there, keeping the 2 boys up in front, nice and honest, and not letting them take the foot off the gas at all. Really good to see. Minky's got his head down as well. He's created a nice big gap there from Carlsberg, who hasn't been able to, after losing a bit of ground there with a mistake, he's not been able to make the inroads he perhaps would. But that last lap time is 201.5, fastest lap of the race so far. So maybe he's got his head down now, and he's going to be focused right on that rear end of Minky to try and zero in and get that Evo for Team 2 up into some better points paying position. As Minky goes a little bit wide there on the exit, just managed to keep it back on the track. As he comes down into the hairpin, hard under braking, right to the left, keep it nice and tight. Don't get too keen on the throttle on the exit, as we've seen a couple already get caught out by the oversteer. Got some tyre swirl there going, so Taff fighting that car. He's dropped right off the back of Carlsberg now. Was giving Carlsberg free rein to really push, and that's exactly what he's doing. We go back, we've got Nordy in 7th, G Smith in 8th. Looks like he's gradually getting back to grips with that car again. So, but well off the back of any sort of battles at the moment. He's got quite a few laps to make up the ground, but he's going to have to start pumping in some really seriously quick lap times if he wants to get back up there. So we'll see how that pans out. But at the moment, not looking like a lonely race for G Smith. And then in 9th and 10th, we got Wobbles and Shorthouse battling it out. The two newcomers. Shorthouse goes a little bit wide there. I think I'm never going to get used to saying Shorthouse on commentary, but I'll roll with it. Go back up front and see how Graham Ali's doing. Well, 21.2 there. He takes fastest lap on that last lap. So he's motoring now. As you can see from the gap he's stretched out between him and Cast. The same goes with Cast. He's putting a great lap there, 201.8, to give himself a nice gap with the Saint. So looking good for the WRX guys in Team 1 in this race. The Saint coming around, keeping Ninky at bay. Carlsberg's still making inroads, not quite fastest lap there on that last lap, but another really quick lap from Carlsberg there, 201.3. So he's really working away, nearly a second faster than Linky on that last lap. So that gap is coming right down. Linky going wide again on that corner. So coming up into the hairpin, we got Carlsberg coming up to the back of Linky. He's going to go wide and perhaps go for the cutback as they come round, both on the throttle nice and quick. Both got a bit of oversteer there, so both really pushing, really trying to battle this one out for their respective teams. So we're going to stick with this for the next couple of corners. We're probably going down into that chicane where I think it will provide the first real opportunity if Carlsberg can get a decent exit here and give him a good run going down into that chicane. I think he is a bit too far back even with the slipstream, but Ninky fighting that car all the way down. And they come under fast left-hander here. And they both get their turn-ins pretty much nailed on. Little lift there from Carlsberg just to stop running wide. Under braking into the chicane, Carlsberg closing right up to the back of Ninky now. Onto the exit. But it looks like Ninky's had a really strong exit out of that chicane, so Carlsberg got some more work to do to close back up and give himself another opportunity for the move. You can see lap time dropped by about a second now through the little battle. So if Carlsberg can clear Ninky, there's every chance he can get up on the road up to his teammate again, the Saint, and see if they can replicate the positions from race 1. So we'll just have whilst these guys are battling out, we'll keep an eye on them through this first sector. See how they both fare during that twisted sector. It looks like Carlsberg's kept it cleaner and tighter on the last part, so he's going to be all over the back of Ninky. And Ninky, last 2 laps, he's gone wide on the exit of the second right-hander here. Carlsberg looking to dive up the inside. Oh, a little kiss there, but Ninky's kept it on the track. Ninky keeping his position. Carlsberg with a cracking exit, dives to the outside, but he's not close enough. So let's see if he does it under braking here. No, not quite close enough. So he tucks it in, gets right back up underneath Ninky. So this is going to go down all the way to the next thing. Probably next left-hander. And Carlsberg at the inside of Ninky on the right-hander. Is Ninky going to stick into the left? No, Ninky's rolled off and tucked in behind Carlsberg. Probably a sensible thing to do, because that corner can be absolutely brutal if you outbrake yourself. The camber really can push you out wide, so Ninky will live to fight another day there, and he's got the slipstream now benefited him from Carlsberg. So going into this left-hander, if you can get that turning right and keep that pace up, you may well have a chance through the chicane and onto the home straight of getting a move done back on. A little bit of dirt there from Ninky. I think good exit right up behind him by the look of it. Good work, cameraman. Hold that curve, because we really want to see an empty curve. Thanks for that. It does look like Carlsberg managed to just sort of break that initial combat with Ninky there, and he can move instead to 1. Oh, but he's picked up a time penalty. I bet that was through the chicane. for his trouble. So that's going to really shake things up if Carlsberg can't stretch out. I mean, the time penalty is half a second through the penalty zone, which is on the back straight. But because it's on the back straight, it really does cost you way more than half a second. So Carlsberg is going to really need to get that pedal to the metal and stretch that gap now, if he's going to have any chance of holding on to that position and not undo the rip again. So we'll stick with these guys as they come around and see how this fares. It does seem to be where the battle is. Looking at the track now, there doesn't appear to be anything closer going on. So we'll stick with these guys as they battle it out. But Carlsberg working to create that gap. You see Ninky dropping off the back there, but Ninky might just be biding his time, keeping it clean. Knows he's going to have that little boost there as the time penalty kicks in on that back straight. So as we come around the left-hander, sweeping left-hander onto the back straight, where Carlsberg is going to have to start that time penalty. We'll see exactly what happens, see what sort of gap he's managed to stretch out, and whether he can hold on to that position. As he comes into the zone, starts to serve his penalty, and penalty served, and it looks like he's easily held on to that position, which means he must have stretched out a real good gap there. But Ninky is under braking there. Ninky's strong into the chicane. It does look like Carlsberg's got the measure of him, so Carlsberg now stretching his legs on and off the road there. So let's dive down a little bit. Let's get back up to the top, see how everybody's doing. Graham Ali clearing off in first place there. He's had a couple of slower laps there, but head back down and last lap in the low 201s again. So strong work for Graham Ali there. And Caston second, keeping himself a good gap ahead of the Saint. He's kind of got a race on his own now, as the Saint's dropped back, and the Saint doesn't really look under too much pressure, but he has got the rapidly closing Carlsberg going to be closing in on him, I'd imagine, very soon, as he's now cleared Ninky, and he can start getting in those low 201s again on the lap time. So you can see now he's already half a tenth up on his fastest lap of the race so far, which is a 201.3. So since he's cleared Ninky, he's really got that pedal down and really pushing him. So see if he can close up to battle soon. I doubt whether there'll be battle. They're in the same team, so you'd hope not, but you never know. There might be team orders, and Carlsberg get the clearance a little bit earlier to get past the Saint and get on up the road after Cast, and maybe, just maybe, get second place for the Team 2 and the EVOs. Ninky there dropped back, but still holding his own. He got a bit of a lonely race again, with Taff behind him on his team, also WRX, after his few instance there. So, and Nordy still bucking away there. As you can see, he's got the pace there. And with that battle with Ninky and Carlsberg, we've sort of missed what's happened to Nordy there again on lap 8. He's lost 13 seconds on his fastest lap now, so really must have had another incident. You see some damage on the car there, on some paint scrapes off. But looking at lap 6 and 7, this guy's got the pace there to stick it to the guys at the top. So if he can iron out those little issues, he's going to be up there. They do say you can't teach speed, you can teach consistency. You're either faster or not, but making good use of that speed and getting that consistency there is what will catapult you from the back of the grid to the front of the grid very quickly. So I'm sure we'll see that coming as he goes and does another 201.9. So he's got that time in him. So good work there from Nordy, despite his various struggles. G Smith there in 8th. A few instances at the top, but he's settled down a little bit. He doesn't seem as at home perhaps in the EVO as he did in perhaps in WRX, but he's got some work to do, but I'm sure we'll see him come strong next week when we move to a different track, and he can reflect his performances at Suzuka. And then Wobbles and Short Ass. It does look like Wobbles has broken the toe of Short Ass there, but I'm still really impressed there with Short Ass with his times, considering how these two cars are so closely matched in time. To suddenly be nearly 3 seconds a lap quicker than he was in the WRX is some going. So I'm sure there's good things to come from him. And Wobbles as well. Look at that, 22.6 laps per night. You know, two newcomers, but the pace is coming. The pace is going to be there. So keep working out, boys, because I can see you coming through the field. And we get back up to the front. We've got Grandma Ali running away with it. As you can see on the track mark on the top right, he's got one hell of a gap now. He just needs to settle down. 3 laps to go, and I think it's safe to say the race is his, barring any mistakes. And probably the same for Cass, to be fair. Bit of a lonely race there in second, with a mistake in third, and it doesn't look like Carlsberg has managed to make any inroads into the Saint. Really, he's not showing those 201s that he was doing, but it's all about rhythm and flow. So if he had another couple of laps, I would imagine he'd get there. As you can see there, he's gone purple, 3 sets of 1, so he's still working away at it. You never know, 3 laps to go, could make the inroads into the Saint there, but I think the Saint's doing a good enough job at the moment to keep him at bay. And Linky in 5th. He's not really disappeared off the back of Carlsberg. He's got his head down and now he's not battling, and he's starting to put those lap times in. He's starting in the 201s, looking at that sector time. Got an oversteer there, but he's getting his head down and now he's not battling. He's going to start pumping in those lap times, but I think Dick is going to be really fit. We've got a yellow flag up ahead, so let's go and see. Oh no! Our race leader, Gremad Ali, he's lost it on the long sweep and left-hander coming onto the back straight. Let's go back and see what happened there as he comes up. So he's got a really big gap there, thankfully for him, as he's come into that sweep and left-hander. Gone a little bit wide. Oh, so easy to do. You get your tyres on that green stuff, and there's just no traction there to hold the grip. So. Yeah, he's lost it, but he's come back on in third, and well, it'd be interesting to see if he can shake that off, get his head down, and get back up in front of the Saint, because otherwise the Saint is going to be pulling in some really good points for the Team 2 here in the EVO. So Graham Ali got loads of work to do now, but with his lap times he was pumping in, I wouldn't put it past him. So we'll see how that unfolds. Carlsberg there. Looks like, Carlsberg has got past Linky, so let's even go back and see what happened to. Oh, it's a long way back. I think we've missed that. Oh no, Carlsberg was already past Linky. My bad. Lots of stuff going on. So Carlsberg was closing on the Saint. So now Carlsberg is going to be closing on Graham Ali, but I don't think he's going to have quite enough. To do that. I think the chances are Graham Ali is going to be closing in on the back of the Saint before Carlsberg on him, as Linky comes round in 5th. Taff still there on his own in 6th, Nordy in 7th, G Smith 8th, Wobbles in 9th, and Short are still muscling that car around the track, still improving, still working away. Those lap times coming down, so still looking good. As we go back up and see what's happening at the front. As Cast is now leading this race with that gap that Ali had, I don't think he would have saw that coming. But I take it back what I said. Carlsberg is really starting to close up on Graham there, so we'll stick with this, because Carlsberg is. I think Graham's probably a bit ruffled after losing such an advantage, which is a shame for him, but it does look like it's given Carlsberg the impetus there to really latch on, and there's every chance with 2 laps to go that Carlsberg could now be in a position to make a move. on ground, but come the end of the race. So it looks like the Saint and Cast have done more than enough to keep first and second. And as you can see there, Carlsberg right on the bumper now of Brown. So we're going to stick with these two as they come round the second half of the lap. 1.5 laps to go, and it's going to be all about this. To see if Graham is going to get through after previous lap excursions, and it looks like he's gone through okay there. Good exit by the looks of things. So Carlsberg's going to have to do this on the last lap, I think, if he's going to do it. But he's right there, so he's got every chance. But Graham's going to need to get his head down and put in another low 201, I think, to keep him at bay as they come through the chicane that the cameraman loves so much, as we watch empty track whilst we wait for him to go back to where the racing is at. And coming across the line now, so Graham's got his head down, not quite a 201, but good strong lap there. And what did Carlsberg do that last lap? So Carlsberg was 0.3 quicker that last lap than Graham was. Obviously looking at those 2 laps, yeah, so Carlsberg made the inroads, but it looks like Graham has settled down and he's pushing now to create that gap. Kind of does look like it's going to be enough, but as we've been watching that, the Saint has put in one hell of a lap for the Saint there, 201.6, and he's brought him right up on the back of Cast. It's come out of nowhere really. So we got a battle on here for first and second and third and fourth, although Carlsberg looks like he's dropped back a bit as Graham's settled down. So we'll get back up to Cast and the Saint as Cast comes under hard on the brake and into the tight left-hander. All about the exits. So Cast keeps it nice and level, as does the Saint, as does Graham and Ali, as does Carlsberg. So these 4 could, any one of them make a mistake, anything happen here, this could really change as we come round the long sweeping left-hander onto the back straight. See if Cass can get a decent exit. Looks like he's good. Saint is there, Graham's there, and Carlsberg there. So coming down the straight, it looks like they're all probably just about in the tow. It does kind of look like it's probably going to be as you are now, unless somebody makes a mistake. But anything can happen going into the final chicane as Cassian comes hard under the brakes, with the Saint coming up behind them, and Carlsberg and Graham, and they've all gone through nice and clean. And it looks like, yeah, Cass is going to take the win, followed by the Saint, followed by Graham Ali and Carlsberg. Great racing from these guys. The Saint, great performance to take second. Benefited from Graham's mistake, but great performance as Ninky and Taff come across the line in 5th and 6th. With Nordy coming round the last corner, to cross the line. Again, look at his lap times, really strong lap times. Just a shame a few mistakes dropped him out of contention, but I'm sure we'll see him come back next week and see what he can do to really mix it with the guys at the front as G. Smith comes around the final corner after a few instances early on to take place, and Wobbles coming around in 9th. Here's Wobbles, and then just coming around the little bit further back, still onto the back straight, short hours. So we'll stick with him as we just mentioned Graham Ali there with the fastest lap of the race, 2:08. What a lap there! That's why he managed to keep Carlsberg at bay, because he put in a lap like that as his final lap. That's impressive, and he really dusted off those issues, that mistake really well. So great stuff from Graham Ali there. As Shorthouse comes through the chicane and round the final corner to finish in 10th. It leaves me with enough time there to say thank you for everybody for tuning in. That was race 2, lobby 2 of the Ultimate Racing League Rivals Championship, taking place on a Tuesday night with commentary, hopefully coming to you every Wednesday from this league. And we will see you next week for the second race of the 6th season championship, team championship, And if you keep an eye on our Facebook page, you'll see the Ultimate Racing League Facebook page. You'll see the points probably go up on there to show you how everything is unfolding. Thank you very much, everyone, and I will see you next week. Cheers.